Dear students, welcome to this new video tutorial of our programming series, which is web programming using ASP.NET. Till the time, we have seen all the basic concepts of ASP.NET through some practical oriented approach. Now, today we will see an important part of making any dynamic website. Yes, we are talking about database. So, in today's session, we will see how to create a database in ASP.NET, or you can say in Visual Studio when we are developing any website, as well as we will see how to create a table in ASP.NET. So watch this video till the end, and now we will switch back to IDE. Let's get started. So we are into our IDE. We have already created a website named as website. So today I will show you how to create database in this particular website. So all you need to do is right click on root directory and click on add new item. As soon as you click on add new item, you will get a dialog box, and from this dialog box select SQL Server Database. This particular SQL Server Database is inbuilt SQL Server for Visual Studio 2003. You can create individual separate database and then connect or add that database to this particular website as well. As of now, we will create database from inbuilt database itself. So the name is database.mdf, and I will click on add. As soon as we add this, we are getting a prompt which says this is a special file type and has to be in the app data folder if we wish to put it in app data folder. So I'll click on yes. As soon as we will click on yes, the database will be created after some time. It will take few seconds, and then after your database will be created. Database creation as well as table creation is done using UI. So as you can see in Server Explorer, we have already created database.mdf, and it shows cancel mark or disconnected mark. So I'll refresh this. As soon as we will refresh, it will be connected, or you can say active. So these are the steps through which you can create any database in ASP.NET. So that was the first part of our session where we have created a database. Now how to create a table? For this, we have already taken a schema named as student_master, which will have all the basic or master details of student. Let us say s_id, which is the ID of student, as name, as address, as phone, as email, branch underscore name, as well as the semester student is enrolled to, right? So this is the schema we are about to create. So these all are the columns or attributes of the table, and this will be your schema name or table name. So as you can see, we are having a folder of tables. We'll right click on this, and then after we'll select add new item or add new table. As soon as we click on this, we are having this tabular form where we can create this. So what I'll be doing is I'll copy this and paste it over here, or you can simply write it. One thing that you must assure and you must take into account is there has to be no white spaces or any special symbols in column names. The same rules we are following for any database has to be applied over here as well. The general scenario where s_id or any ID is considered is integer as well as primary key. So we are not allowing any null, and then after all these attributes has been done, we will create a primary key. Now as name, which has to be varchar with the size of 50. You can also change this domain or size to 30 or any of your choice. Allow null is unchecked, so none of the field will be allowed as null data. Address has to be, let us say, 250 characters maximum, and we will be creating all these things the similar way. Over here, varchar 10 is taken for phone number because we do not need to manipulate phone number on any of the operations, right? It has to be stored as well as printed, right? At that time it can be stored as a varchar. Let us say maximum size limit for email is 30, so varchar 30 for as email. branch underscore name will have a specific branch name where student is enrolled into, such as computer engineering or information technology. So to the max 30 over here as well has to be have some branch for student, so allow null is not there, and semester value will vary from 1 to 6 or 8 in some cases, so it has to be integer. After this, generally the flow will be saving the table, but over here we are not doing this. We will set primary key. If you have saved the table and then you are setting a primary key, it will not be allowed. So before saving a table, we'll right click on the attribute where we want to set a primary key, and then after we'll select set primary key. Now this particular step will allow user to have unique value, but it will not be auto incremented. To make this primary key auto incremented, select this primary key column, go in the column properties, and then after select identity specification. As soon as you expand this, you are having an option is identity, so you can set it to yes. We'll be having two options, identity increment 1 and seed 1. It means the seed will be 1, which says the value of primary key will start from 1 and will be incremented by 1, saying identity increment. Now we will save this table with the given schema name, which was student underscore master. This way your table is created. Now how to check if this table is created or not? You can go in the tables, you can expand this, and you are having your student master, right? This way your table can be saved or created. You can also check all the attributes by expanding that particular table. Now if you want to change some definition or size of any attributes, you can do it as well. Just right click on this table name and go for open table definition. You are having your table and you can change. For example, now we are changing to s underscore name, then we'll go for s underscore address and s underscore phone, s underscore email, right? And we'll save this table. So the effects are applied over here. This is how you can create any table in Visual Studio in any database that you have already created, and you can continue your dynamic website creation. So this is it for today's session. Now we will be switching to our questions that can be done from this particular session. So I hope you have thoroughly understood this concept. Let us have a quick recap of what we have learned in this particular session. So we have seen how to create a database, how many types of databases are supported in ASP.NET while creating website, or you can say while we are creating ASP.NET websites. Then we have seen what is a table of database. One schema, we have already created a table of student, and we have also set primary key as well as some configurations in that particular table. So this is it for today's session. I hope you will practice this by your own. You will create one table for your project. Similarly, we can create multiple tables. We will quickly go to the questions that can be done from this particular tutorial. So the questions are, we have already seen this in ID. I am repeating this for you. What is database? What is database table? What is a primary key? How we can set a primary key in any table in ASP.NET? And you need to create one table. I am giving you the schema. The table is branch underscore master with the ID branch underscore ID, that will be your primary key, branch name, branch code, right? So that is the schema. Again I am repeating the schema, branch underscore master, that is a relation name or table name. The attributes will be branch underscore ID, branch underscore name, and branch underscore code. So create this table in your ASP.NET Visual Studio ID and let me know if you are having some errors. I hope you like this video. Like my video, share the video, subscribe to YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.